Warning! This video contains potential spoilers. Please continue watching at your own discretion.
This video is brought to you by Poospaws, unnamably good cat food since 1876.
In today's video, we're going to explore the magic that happens in the dark at Danse Macabre while adhering to Efteling's rules and not disrupting the experience for others. For those who dare to venture into the realm of the unnamable, welcome. Of course, it goes without saying that if you would like to preserve the magic or have not yet ridden Danse Macabre, there will be spoilers ahead or things you might not want to see because you might not be able to unsee them. In case you've been living under a rock or just have more important things going on in your life, here's a look back at how we arrived at this point. In 1978, Efteling unveiled Spookslot, a haunted house attraction that was an immediate hit and a one-of-a-kind experience in the theme park world. Unfortunately, the success didn't last, and in 2022, after many years of neglect, it was decided to replace the attraction. My first visit to Spookslot was disastrous. I was scared out of my mind and had my eyes and ears closed the whole time. But over the years, the attraction grew on me. It became a must-do for us on each visit, and we always tried to bring in first-timers to show them all the details and surprises. We're still a bit upset with Efteling because no matter how they try to spin it, it's their neglect of the building and show elements that led to its demise and declining attendance. Otherwise, the old attraction or just the entire building could have been part of one or more new attractions, including the now in its place risen Danse Macabre. Unfortunately, the same scenario is currently unfolding with the Fata Morgana Dark Ride. The love and steady upkeep they have always given to the Efteling Theatre is how everything in the park should responsibly be maintained. But this clearly shows what brings in extra money. The theater brings in extra revenue, while attractions like Spookslot and Fata Morgana only drain funds. Let's just hypothetically say they close Fata Morgana overnight. It will be missed by visitors, but to Efteling's income and attendance, it will make no difference. That's just the cold hard truth. But let's return to the topic at hand. There's a lot to show and tell about Danse Macabre and its area, but we'll save many of those ideas for other videos. Instead, we'll focus on something most of you have not seen and may never see. Yes, we're going to peel back a piece of the magic curtain to sneak a peek behind it. Danse Macabre officially opened on October 31st, 2024, but we were lucky enough to preview it earlier. In hindsight, we can say we had an unforgettable experience that day in what we now know is one of our favorite choir or church benches. Bench 3, row 1. We also had an incredible group of riders with us who were truly there for the experience. They were quiet during the whole ride and gave a massive applause at the end. The ride was also less than half full, which helped too. Again, there's a lot we can say about this ride, and we certainly plan to do so in future videos. But for now, we can say it's amazing to still hear the actual Danse Macabre not only in a similar atmosphere as Spookslot, but also on top of its former location. Each ride still brings us back to experiencing Spookslot. Having experienced this ride multiple times now, and luckily at several different benches and rows, I've become more and more intrigued by how this attraction functions and what happens during the completely dark portions of it. I've always loved filming and taking photos during vacations and theme parks from a young age, a tradition I inherited from my mother. What I didn't know then is that it actually became more therapeutic for me to see things through a lens. It helps me focus, filter, and keep a distance and barrier between me and the subjects, if that makes sense. It also helps me look at the world differently, distracts me, and helps pass time from the things I don't need. Yes, we know there are plenty of other videos available, including official ones, but it's different when it's your own video. Creating your own videos saves the hassle of people commenting that it's not your own work, even if you credit that person when known. Plus, it reduces the risk of a YouTube takedown or copyright strike. But enough about the joys of YouTube. When you enter the chapel hall, you'll spot an altar in the center with old musical instruments. If you're lucky and pay close attention, you might catch a glimpse of the mysterious black cat everyone's been warning you about. I say lucky because it's not visible from all the choir benches. You can see the cat appear inside a drum or timpani, Not sure what this is called. Let us know in the comments. On the other side, you might find it in one of the wind instruments. Again, I don't know the exact name of this instrument. As the ride begins, you hear the 6 entrance doors closing. Thunder approaches and lightning strikes the altar with the instruments. The instruments start moving and 2 monstrous eyes rise from the altar. These aren't visible from all the church benches, though. Then it goes pitch dark. Meowing turns into monstrous growling. The cat transforms into an evil monster, or at least that's the idea. Apparently the monster is around us because we hear heavy footsteps while the benches shake up and down in sync to that. We hear loud wing flaps suggesting the monster is flying away or up. Later you can see it from certain benches in one of the niches in the chapel. The monster now turns all 6 benches towards the chapel organ. The lights suddenly come on and a booming organ chord plays. Now we see the infamous ghost conductor, Joseph Charlatan, floating in front of the organ. And this is what led me to create this video. From a very young age, I've always been enchanted by theme parks, animatronics, and dark rides. As a child, I'd recreate them using all my toys and whatever I could get my hands on. I even built a semi-working diorama of the main Spookslot show. Picture a masterpiece in cardboard and Legos. Sadly, I don't have any photos of it, but trust me, it was as epic as a child's imagination can get. To uncover the secrets behind the rides, I started using night vision. Back in the day, this was allowed everywhere. But because the rides now use it themselves to keep an eye on things during the dark sections, it sometimes gets mistaken for an external film light. This has led to a few moments where our antics caused the rides to get temporarily stopped with messages like, "Please turn off the flashlight." A ride operator watching us on a monitor might see the infrared light from our camera and mistake it for a torch, even though visitors don't notice a thing. In those cases, it's actually the ride operator unnecessarily spoiling the ride experience, not us. Now, to avoid similar problems at Danse Macabre, we first took a deep dive into the rules. The rules sign at the entrance states nothing about lights. It also seems to state no cameras, but that's a bit misleading. According to team members and Efteling's own rules, filming with a chest mount or harness is allowed on all thrill rides. However, this information is provided differently in various places on their website and in their chat option. On top of that, almost every team member interprets the rules in their own way, but that's food for an entirely different video. So, filming is allowed, a harness must be used, there's no talk about lights, and do not disturb other guests. Easy, right? But then I suddenly thought, if many attractions nowadays already have some form of night vision, maybe I don't need to turn on the infrared lights on my camera. So, off we went. And lo and behold, I was right. You can clearly see their massive lights. I believe they have 4. The advantage of a harness is that it is elastic, and therefore flexible enough to turn and aim at Joseph. Now the biggest challenge was keeping track of where Joseph would appear, because don't forget, we're in total darkness at this point. And guess what? I nailed it on the first try. But there was one problem. The quality. So I worked some magic on it. A few observations. First of all, it's interesting to actually see the benches shaking up and down in sync with the heavy footsteps of the unnameable. Fascinating to see the woman next to me all tensed up, holding her fingers against her lips, waiting for what's to come. Pianist Jose Garcia Fernandez patiently awaits his turn to perform Shrouded in Darkness. Can anyone tell us what these shields are? Our guess is that they are loudspeakers because of how they are placed all around and at an angle. And these niches with those round black holes, are they for wind effects, lighting, projections, or maybe sensors? And of course the most intriguing part, seeing how smoothly the organ turns and Joseph lowers himself into place, ready to scare us to death. I was wondering if I could add some extra magic. But first, I want to talk about the cameras. This Sony you see here is our favorite, but unfortunately, it's almost impossible to get it on a chest mount, let alone get it approved by team members. But there are alternatives, like these body cameras, which are similar in size and weight to action cameras and easier to mount. And there are many trail or wildlife cameras available in all shapes, sizes and colors with excellent night vision capabilities. And nowadays, night vision is even available on smartphones. But back to the video. Let's try and add some colorization. But we also messed up. In the moment, we completely forgot about the second dark part at the end and had already loosened the harness and turned off the camera. I quickly had to fix everything and turn the camera back on, but I still missed that last part and Joseph turning back. We actually expected him to turn back during the drop part, but as you can see and hear, it's during Vade Retro, which makes sense considering the meaning of that phrase. One last fun detail is how you can see the force of the drops send the curtains flying. It's something you miss in the dark. As we still bid farewell to the classic Spookslot attraction, we can't help but feel a tinge of nostalgia. It will always hold a special place in our hearts. Yet, as we step into the enchanting world of Danse Macabre and the mesmerizing huyverwoud, we find solace in the fact that history and memories live on.
Thank you for watching, and feel free to check out one of these other videos. Don't forget to subscribe and join our socials.